How's it going, super friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, well, welcome here for the first time. On this channel I do action figure reviews and a whole plethora of various DC Comics related content, for the most part. For today, I'm going to be reviewing the Dr. Psycho Wave Teen Titans Wonder Girl figure from the DC Comics Multiverse. This is something I'm pretty excited about because right now I've got the DC Direct Wonder Girl filling in for her on my DC Universe Classics shelf. So maybe she'll make a good enough fill-in for her as a replacement, maybe not. We'll see. I guess we'll know by the end of this review, won't we? On the side of the packaging, we have the Sassy Cassie, and on the back, we have the Wonder Woman and the Dr. Psycho. Now, I've already reviewed the Wonder Woman, and so I have the Dr. Psycho parts that came with her. Once we open up Cassie, we'll have the parts to build Dr. Psycho, and I'm going to build him in this video as well. So it's going to be like a two figures for one kind of deal today. Hocus pocus, alamagocus! Oh, well that didn't go as planned. Now that she's out, here's what you get. You get Dr. Psycho's head with his big popping out Popeye, and you get his completely non-articulated legs. Oh goody! And of course also we've got Wonder Girl. So far at a glance, everything looks like it's in the right place. It looks like the red's close enough to what they would have used in the comic books. It looks like all the different pieces of her suit, her outfit, seem to be all in the right place. I used to think of this Wonder Girl as the cowgirl Wonder Girl, just because the boots she's wearing and then the pants and stuff. She just really has that look of being like a sexy line dancing cowgirl. The Teen Titans of the era had characters that seemed to break costume rules, and Cassie and Superboy were the two that were the standout. They just didn't look like typical superheroes. I'll have Superboy later on in this video, so for those of you who don't know what Connor Kent looked like pre-New 52 with the black t-shirt and the jeans, you'll notice that both of these characters just aren't dressed like typical superheroes. Bringing her in close and looking at that face, I think that the face actually looks a lot better in person than it does with the images I've seen online on sites like the Fwoosh and, you know, Action Figure Insider and stuff like that. She looks better. And the one thing I notice as well is that Cassie isn't suffering from the same problem that a lot of other female and male characters, for that matter, made by the Four Horsemen suffer from, and that's like the flat, pushed in face. It seems like they got away from that with her, so that's a good thing. If you look at her eyes, if you can see them without all the light, I mean, they've got enough light and personality in them, so I'm happy with those. Her skin tone seems even enough that I'm impressed with that. They've got all the right detailing, like on her shirt and stuff, like her Wonder Woman symbol. I want to say her W because I think it's supposed to be a W, and it's also supposed to resemble an eagle. So her W eagle splayed out across her chest is sculpted on, not just painted on. So that's a bonus. And then they've given her little tiny abs. You can see some muscle definition along with the belly button there. And you got all the detailing in her pants with her belt and her zipper sculpted right on there, not just painted. Even the seam of her clothing right there, and a wrinkle in the fabric on her butt. So I think that they did make an effort to make this figure, you know, kind of cool. They didn't just reuse nothing parts. These are all newly sculpted parts. Got the boots here done properly. So far, I'm pretty happy. All the detailing looks like it's in the right place. Now, the articulation for Wonder Girl is going to be as follows, very much like a DC Universe Classics, only with a few slight changes. You got the shoulders, and they do the same thing, hinge, swivel, 360. You got the 360 bicep, which is customary. You got your elbows, which are single-jointed elbows, and they can go that far, but they can also spin backwards and forwards, and that's a nice little added touch compared to the older DCUC females that had the really ugly hinge that did almost nothing. Then you've got the hands, and they swivel about that. The waist, looks like there's some articulation up in here, but it doesn't want to move. Like, and it's not just like sticky doesn't want to move. Like, it feels like it's not supposed to move, so I'm not going to just turn it and snap her in half. And there's no articulation at the waist, so technically there's none from here to here. Her head's on a ball joint, doesn't get a ton of movement left to right, but down and up, not a whole lot of articulation in the neck. Groin is that hinge, swivel, and then you've got the butt that gets in the way, so that's really as far as her legs can go that way, and they can go that far forward. You got articulation here above the knee by way of a swivel, and you have the knees, which are single jointed. Now the hinges are hidden. I also want to point that out. There's no hinge pegs, no hinge peg there, and no hinge peg there. So that's definitely a plus. I'm a big fan of hiding those hinge pegs. And then the ankles what do we have for the ankles? They're often sticky. So forward and back, and no ankle rockers. For those of you who really like the ankle rockers, this Wonder Girl figure does not have ankle rockers. But yeah, that's what you get for articulation. And here we have her standing next to the DC Direct version of the exact same character. And I gotta say, I really do like this one a lot more than I like the Mattel figure. That's not to say that I don't like the Mattel Multiverse version. I just really like this version. I think that she's the right size for this character, and I think that this figure captures the overall look of Cassie just a little bit better. And I prefer how they've handled the details on the DC Direct version. But here's how she measures up in size and scale to this figure. And here we got the Signature Series Connell standing right next to Cassie Wonder Girl for a size comparison. And also I wanted to point out, remember how I mentioned before how another character in the Teen Titans looked very normal, just didn't really have a super suit? Well, that was Superboy. For those of you who weren't familiar, Superboy just wore the jeans, regular old boots, and he also had just a t-shirt. It was a Superman t-shirt that he wore, and that was his superhero suit. It was nothing special. He could walk around town just looking like a normal dude with a super suit, and she could pretty much just, throw on a shirt and look fairly normal, just with red pants and black boots. So they really broke that mold, rather than, obviously Beast Boy, who looked very superhero-like, and then Kid Flash, Bart Allen, who looked very, very, very superhero-like, face mask and all. And don't even get me started on Starfire. I like her costume and all, but there's no way she could walk around in public like that, unless, of course, she was at a cosplaying event. And then you got Raven. Oh, God, Raven. She got the skirt that goes all the way up and shows the maximum amount of leg. So, these two really did have that mold-breaking appearance in the Titans, and I really did enjoy that about that book. That the Titans seemed like a very grounded kind of story, with just a bunch of young people trying to find their way and find their place in the DC universe, dominated by their predecessors who had been doing it much, much longer and were much better at it. Wait a minute. I talked a long time about something not really action figure related, didn't I? Sorry. Now, as mentioned before, I'm also going to put together the Collect and Connect Dr. Psycho right here. So let's do that. Let's put his body on the legs first. You just pop it on there like that, little Mr. Tuxedo Man. And then you just take his arm, and it goes right in the hole there. You just squeeze it in there. And then you take his other arm and pop it in there too. And the last piece is his creepy little head. You just get on there. That's your home. There you go. And that's it. Little tiny Dr. Psycho. I think he looks pretty darn awesome. I actually like getting the little figures. I've got all of the little tiny DC Universe Classics figures. All of them. I've got every single little one. And, I'd like to do a video one time just showcasing the little ones, just because they're so darn cute. But anyway, yeah, that's him. Doesn't really do much articulation at the shoulders. He can go like this, talk to the hand because my face don't want to listen no more. He's got the other hand that looks kind of creepy. The head does ball jointy kind of stuff that a regular ball joint head does, and then he swivels at the waist. Round and round and round he goes. And that's it. No leg articulation as previously seen. So there it is. Dr. Psycho Collect and Connect figure as well. So there we have it. Wonder Girl and the Dr. Psycho Build-A-Figure from the Dr. Psycho wave of DC Multiverse. Technically only a 2-figure wave, but they put Superman and Aquaman from the Super Friends line in there and released all 4 figures at once. I find myself pretty happy with this Wonder Girl figure. I can't think of a reason why I don't like the figure. That's not to say that I wouldn't improve her in the way of, if I could just snap my fingers and make magic happen, I'd make her shorter by like half a head. But other than that, I'm happy with the tone of her hair. Her blonde hair actually seems natural in comparison to this figure, which, I do overall like this one better. The tone of her hair, I do like more than the tone of this Wonder Girl's hair. So yeah, I'm happy with her. If this is a figure you're on the fence about and you just want to use her for standing on a shelf and break her out occasionally for a little bit of light action figure photography, I could definitely recommend her. If you're someone that is looking for a lot of articulation, this might not be the action figure for you. However, between these two, I gotta say that the Multiverse version is going to be much better for action figure photography because she does have a lot more articulation than the DC Direct version. Anyhow, with that, we've come to the end of the video, so thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video and being interested in it. It means a lot to me. If you've enjoyed this video, please take the time to leave a like on it so I know you liked it. Leave any comments you have down in that comment section below because I do read absolutely every single one, and if you think you might want to see more of my sort of content show up in your inbox, just hit the subscribe button and ding the bell so that you never miss a video, and I'll see you with the next one. Thanks for watching, have a super day.